Freedom is good, man. Freedom is good. Especially gang members here. You know, man, as a former gang member, I was gang banging. Your outlook in life is very gloomy. And your mentality is, you're not really worried about tomorrow, right? But then when you live your life in the gangs, there are different levels of individuals in the gangs. But I was fortunate enough to be in a position where I had first-hand encounter and in some big operations, and when there are active criminals, there are different types of active criminals. You know what I'm saying? And when you live in that life of crimes, of gang banging, I'm talking about life, you really don't, and especially, let me mention this, especially you are aware of whatever you do and say will cost you your freedom. Unless you get caught red-handed, you know what I'm saying? Other than that, if you were gangbang, you're smart. You never look for that clout and expose yourself on the internet so you can toll on yourself. You know what I'm saying? So I'm a former gang member, so I love listening to other former gang members, claim gang members. I'm an ex-convict, so I love listening to those that been to prison before. Each and every one of us, man, have a unique stories. And what is a better way for you, for me, to be able to not making a mistake by listening to people that are making mistakes, right? In order for you to not make mistakes, you have to listen to those that make mistakes. That is the only way, right? So, as I turn on internet almost every day, you know what I'm saying? To learn, to find information, and just to listen to these unique stories. But as I turn on and listen to some of these gang members, former as well, ex-convict, right? I started to dissecting in what they're saying, right? So for me, when I listen to them, right, I listen to their stories, or I listen to their conversation, right? If you don't live in the world that they live in, sometimes you hear them telling you a story. You're not going to be able to identify how truthful that is, because if you never live that lifestyle, you're not going to see the details, the ins and the outs, and certain steps. You know what I'm saying? You have to be in that lifestyle. You have to used to be a drug dealer for you to know what he's talking about when he's drug dealing, right? You have to be involved some kind of illegal transaction that's big for you to see and understand what he's talking about when he was involved in a big transaction, right? But when I listen to some of these guys on the internet, right? They are like drama queens, man. Like, come on. If you an intelligent street individuals, right? You out here, you get money, but then You found out. He's found out. He got blackballed by another gang member. So that's what that tell you. That tell you his self-awareness and the kind of games that he has in the street. It's not that strong. It's not that strong. Or he talking about all these dramas. It is for entertainment purposes. That's it. Because ain't nobody in this world that's smart, that's intelligent in the street will sit on the internet, expose your own self about what you do as a gang member. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to tell you this. A real ones, they don't tell you what they are capable of doing. But all they're saying is, hey, I've been there. I've done that. That's all they got to say. You know, I listened to some of the killers that doing life when I was in the Fed, you know? And they all have the same stories. They all have the same stories. That this life of gangbanging, of criminal ways, do not really prove to you who is the toughest until you are in the cells. Until you're sitting in front of a detective, an FBI, until you get that time. You know, it's really exposed you of who you really are. You cannot tell me if you are smart individuals, street individuals, and you keep coming back in and out of prison. You can't tell me that. You're not. You cannot. Because it only took me one for me to recognize the traps, the snares of the system. So when I sit and hear all these individuals on the internet having dramas, supposedly called street dudes, gangster, having drama with other folks, try to get into a fight. It's like a damn soap opera. You should be smart enough when you watch and dissecting that. You should be smart enough to see and stay away, because those folks ain't offering you no kind of wisdom, knowledge that you can apply in this life. You know what I'm saying? No kind of knowledge and wisdom that can offer you in this life. You know, just because that person did this much amount of street things in the streets. You know what I'm saying? Stealing cars, fight with somebody. You know what I'm saying? Stealing. Ain't never been nowhere. Ain't never really making no money. And he telling you what it's like to be a gang member. What it's like to live in a criminal world, underworld. Ain't never dealing drugs in his whole life. Might be this much drugs. You know what I'm saying? All he has is good talk game. And see, that's why it's time for us to be smart enough to be able to identify these folks, man. Don't listen to them, man. You know what I'm saying? The truth of individual lifestyles can present of who he is today. Of who he is today. That's how I recognize folks. That's how I learn how to recognize folks. When I know he's a real G. It only takes him once for him to see you. But the one to keep yapping, he ain't the one. You know what I'm saying? He ain't the one. He is just for entertainment purposes. If you're a real gangster, man, you in the prison once you come out, you should see what's present in front of you in real life. And you start making a change in your communities, in your people. You start offering solution, not dramas. You know, not creating more problems. You know, if you lay with the wolves, you know you're going to end up with the wolves. So if you are cooperating and partner up with the wolves, you know what you're going to get. So how you going to, you know what I'm saying, yell and say, oh, I'm being betrayed by this dude and that dude. Come on, man, you know what it is. You should be smart enough to even partner up with them dudes. Because those dudes are looking for a quick come up. You know what I'm saying? The street, it's not about feeling pity or being nice. No, the street is being smart, being respectful, and stay away from folk businesses. You know what I'm saying? Worry about your own, carry your own weight. Yes, and stay away from exposing yourself. Exposing yourself to those that in charge of making the laws, man. That's how you're supposed to do. You know? So when as me as a former gamer, man, every time I turn on my shit, I just couldn't understand many of this dude that talking the same talk, walking the same walks, offer no solution, no opportunities to help folks understand what it is living in the underworld, man. Living in the underworld, it's like no one knows what the hell you were doing. For real. Don't just judge the book by its cover, man. But you can judge the man based on what he says. If it's co-sign with his action, man. Co-sign with his action. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it is, man. You know, I just see, man, the needs to kind of offer my experience and perspectives on the things that I heard on the internet, man. It just, you know, it making, before for me, in my generation, before being in the game, it's something that once would look up and like, damn, this dude is respectful, man, you know. You don't do things just to do things. You don't just commit an act just to commit an act. You know what I'm saying? There's a level of respect here, even when you do wrong, you know. That's how I was raised. That's how I went to gangs. We don't just, you know, betray each other, telling on each other, go make a few bucks, don't give a SHIT what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Just downgrade nowadays, man. I seen so many dudes on the internet just arguing, man. And they call themselves gang members. You know what I'm saying? Supposed to be the pillars of the gangs and all sort of things. Come on, man. Us on the internet should be smart enough to recognize these folks, man. They are not as what you think they are. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. You know. Best way for an individual to be able to succeed in life after making a mistake, like myself. First thing you got to do, you have to identify yourself. Hold yourself accountable. You know what I'm saying? You have to look in the mirror, man, and see your former life is not worth of you give all your energy to it. Because that is not the kind of life that brings prosperity, peace, and joy, or any future, man. So you got to identify that. You have to. Hold yourself accountable. You know what I'm saying? Hold yourself accountable. It's easy to do wrong, man. I'm telling you, man. It's easy right now, even for me. Go out, have a beef with somebody, man, and put my plan down and you know, do my thing against my enemies. You know, it's very easy, you know. I can't really spit no games on what I should do. That's just for something else. But I'm saying it's easy to do wrong. I'm telling you. But it's hard to do right. That's why there's so many folks on the internet don't mind talking the same talk, walking the same walk. You know what I'm saying? After they do little small times, like a couple of years, jail times and stuff like that. Come on, man. Come on, man. The petty crimes. Petty crimes. Only you know yourself. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no fool expose himself on the internet and having drama all days, every day of the weeks. That ain't good. So you hold yourself accountable. Accountable, man. Identify who you really want to be. Definitely not a criminal. You know what I'm saying? After that, draw your plans. How do you achieve as a new person? And the only way that you achieve as a new person, man, is gain new knowledge. Gain new knowledge. Knowledge is like a new seed that you put into the ground and water it, man. That's the best. I'm telling you. Even when I listen to 50 Cent. 50 Cent, if you watch all his journey, man, 50 Cent today ain't talking about killing, but you can sense, you can hear his toughness in his voices. But he not going to go out there and kill nobody. You know how much he got to lose? But he will influence, he had enough influence to manipulate a crash dummies to go do what has to be done for him. But I guarantee he's not going to be directly involved. So they're always going to be a crash dummy. Not this life. They're always going to be one that's fool, that will do stupid things and then ain't got no more freedom. Your money is useless when you ain't got no more freedom. You be in that jail cell, scratching the calendars every day, every week, and every month, and every year. You know what I'm saying? So if you can be a crash dummy, it's all you want to. And that's what it is. The internet today is creating crash dummies. Because if you notice, 10 people I see on the internet, 9 people wanted to project themselves how tough they are. But I guarantee you, out of all of them, ain't nobody want long sentences. It's easy to do 6 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. Wait until you get 10 years and up. Man, the world don't forget about you. You know what I'm saying? See, that's my point. That's my point. You want to be successful. And in order to succeed in becoming the person you really want, I'm telling you, you really want. Because as a former gang member, you cannot tell me, when I hear you talking about drug dealing, if you lies, I know. I used to run gambling houses. And if you talking about run gambling houses and you be lying, I know. Whole houses. Operation. The FBI. All that kind of things. I know. I know. So for me, I'm only sharing tips. So you, when you hear me, you be able to see what I'm talking about. If you live the life of the street, do not be a fool to expose yourself on the internet. You know what I'm saying? Don't be a drama queens on the internet. You don't need to be if you're a real dude, real gangster. But if you're a gang member, you can't be a gang member forever. Make a change, man. Make a change, because if you have family, children, they need you. But first, I'm from broke to millionaire. I learned how to trade, invest on my own. I learned skill because I put in the effort. You know what I'm saying? Most people want quick money, quick everything. They don't want to work for it, man. They don't have the patience. So people that in the street, they don't have the patience. You know what I'm saying? They don't have the patience. So, just sharing my perspective, man, because this is what I see. It's 2024. You can't go backward. You got to go forward, man. You got to go forward. You know what I'm saying? If you're going backward, I mean, you listen to them dudes saying the same thing. Saying same thing, man. 2024, let's go. Y'all know what it is, man. Ex-BNB gang members here Freedom is good, man. Freedom is good. If you don't know the true freedom, then you just don't know the true freedom. Y'all take care, man. See y'all soon.